Dumba Jumden de Jawa da Jumba Yandaba Zobe Sanje Riba Dan Jauzo Demba Dewara Sheba Jigden Jemba Jebo Dube Galo Jorwa Lana Meba Lada Menamje Dumba Sanje Jumden de Pejawa Jaja Tuba La Janzel Chudo Jabzo Che Ho Damba Jumden de Shen Shewa Da Jumba Yandaba Zobe Sanje Rigba Dan Jabzo Demba Dewara Jeba Jiden Jemba Jebo Deve Kalo Jorba Lana Meva Lada Menam Je Domba Sanje Jumden de Pejawa Shaja Tuba La Jazela Chudo Jazo Che Wo Domba Jumden de Shen Shekwa Ta Jumba Yandaba Zobe Sanje Rekwa Dan Shabso Demba Dewara Sheba Jeden Jemba Jebu Deve Kalo Jorba Lana Meva Lada Menam Je Domba Sanje Jumden de Bejawa Jaja Doba La Jaze Lo Chudo Jaso Che Ho Sanje Chudan Soje Shunama La Changshu Padu Tane Jaso Che Dagi Cheche Nyebe Zona Manje Jola Penche Sanje Jobara Sho Sanje Chodan Soje Chonama La Changshu Padu Tane Jamso Che Tage Cheche Nyebe Zona Manje Jola Penche Sanje Jobara Sho Sanje Chodan Soje Chonama La Changshu Padu Tane Jamso Che Tage Chushe Jebe Tsonama Je Dola Penje Sanje Dobara Sho. Good morning to all of you. So today, as you notice that we are doing only online because many of you were away. So where were we? So anyway, maybe this is a bit late. Those who are away having a long weekend, so you may not be able to watch this. But if you are, and then I think take this or this and other previous classes as a reminder to practice patience, the importance of patience, the benefit of realizing the benefit of patience, and then also realizing the danger and the disadvantages of getting angry or losing our temper. So these, when you are away with your family or on a vacation or even attending special events, which tend to be more frequent during these summer months. So what I am suggesting is take this as a reminder when you are engaged in these activities, because these are the these are where we get the opportunity to practice patience. If we are just sitting alone in our rooms, in our house, or in our office cubicles, then there is no real chance or opportunity to practice patience. So the best opportunity is when you are with others, because when you are doing all kinds of things, there are so many things that can agitate us, irritate us, frustrate us, and then the anger arises. So before you go for any camping or any engaging in any kind of activity with other people, so just set a determination that, okay, even though I am going to have fun, but there will be a lot of incidences, a lot of things that can irritate me. So I'm going to take this not only as a vacation or a holiday event, but I'm also going to take this as an opportunity to practice patience or apply what I have listened to in the classes. So if we are able to do that, then it will be like a what you call hands-on application. Otherwise, we never get to practice. And then when the time passes, we forget. We don't even remember what we have covered in the past classes. Sometimes we don't even remember what we covered in the last class. So so it is important to make that decision or determination that today whatever I listen to, whatever I learn, I will try my best to put them into practice. So that way we will be able to progress. That way we are able to make what you call development in our spiritual practice. And that way we are able to improve our relationships with others. So now let's just remind what we have been talking about. So this verse we have already covered. So why, by becoming angry, do I throw away my merits, the faith others have in me and my good qualities? Tell me, why am I not angry with myself for not having the causes of gain? This is, remember, one of the reasons why we get angry is when our enemies, so-called enemies, are treated well, when they are gifted, when they receive gifts from others. That makes us unhappy, that makes us jealous, that makes us angry. So this is why he's saying, so why, by becoming angry, do I throw away my merits? So when we get angry at somebody whom we label as enemy, receives gift from others, and when we get angry, what purpose does it serve? Whatever gift that enemy receives, by yourself getting angry, it doesn't change anything. That person will still in the possession of whatever gift. That person will still be enjoying that gift, whereas we will be here miserable, unhappy, angry, jealous. So you're saying that, why do I throw away my merits? On the one hand, because this anger comes, one reason is because we want to receive that, and we are not receiving that. Instead, our enemy is getting it. So we get angry. So you're saying that if we want to receive those, we need to engage in the causes. We need to cultivate merits. And by getting angry, we are actually destroying our merits instead of cultivating merits so that we can be a recipient of all that generous gifts from others. So he's saying that, why are you destroying the very merit, very causes that enables us to receive gifts? The faith others have in me and my good qualities. So if you want to receive gifts, if you want to be honored by others, then you need to possess some qualities. You have to behave yourselves. You have to conduct your behavior in such a way that people generate faith in you. You need to cultivate all that good qualities. So by getting angry, we are not getting all that. We are not cultivating all that. We are doing the opposite. So Shantideva says, tell me, why am I not angry? So if you are really angry, if you want to be angry, if you need to be angry, then you should be angry at yourself, not to the person who is receiving all that gift. Tell me, why am I not angry with myself for not having the causes for gain? So all these arises. Remember in the early verses, this is the verse 7. The reason, the causes of anger is summarized in this stanza. Having found its fuel of mental unhappiness in the prevention of what I wish for and in the doing of what I do not want, hatred increases and then destroys me. Mindu chedan dobayi gegje bale chungjurubas. Yimi deve se nyene shedante de tajumso. This is the what you call the process of how anger arises. So one of the two main reasons why we get angry is in the prevention of what I wish for. We wanted this and that. And even in psychology, they have this theory about aggression. It's called frustration-aggression theory. So we get frustrated, and as a result, we get angry, and then the aggressive behaviors comes out. So why we get frustrated is we want things to go in certain ways. When that does not happen, we get frustrated. We wanted people to treat us in a certain way. When that does not happen, we get frustrated and then anger arises. We wanted to achieve something specific. When that doesn't happen, we get angry. We plan for something else. When the plan fails, we get agitated, we get frustrated, and then anger takes over. So that's the theory, frustration, aggression theory. So here is similar. When Mindu Chedang, Döba Geje, first of all, in the prevention of what we wish for, when somebody obstructs our wishes, in fulfilling our wishes, then there is this dissatisfaction, this frustration, this mental unease, and that acts as a fuel, and it gives life and sustains our anger. Likewise, and in the doing of what we do not want. There are certain things, we want some things, but we do not want certain things. So when we were kind of made to experience certain things that we don't want to, like undesirable experiences, we get angry, we get frustrated. This mental unhappiness arises, and that serves as a fuel that brings about our anger. So there are so many things that give rise to these fuels. So one of them is here, what we are talking about is our enemies. We label some people as our enemies. And we don't want them to be treated nicely. We don't want them to succeed. We don't want them to we don't want to see them prosper, achieve their goals. So when other people facilitate these, we become jealous. Then we get angry. So that's what I want you to remind. So now back to verse 86. Kyuji rangi tik chela nyanye mebar maseji sunam cheba shendadang lenji tembar che dams. So earlier I said, why are you so angry? You should be angry at yourself. So then the answer could be that, we can argue that it's okay if I don't get anything. If others don't offer me any gifts, I am okay with that. But I cannot bear to see my enemy receiving all these gifts. So that's in response to such argument. It says, let alone not having any remorse. We should be feeling remorse that we are jealous about such things. We should be rejoicing when other people experience good things, when other people receives gifts, or when other people receives promotion at your workplace, when your colleagues get promotion. How many of us rejoice in that? There are people who get jealous and who are unhappy that a colleague is promoted. And sometimes we feel that that person does not deserve, and I should be the one who is getting that promotion. So anyway, you said, let alone not having any remorse. We should be feeling a bit of remorse when we have this kind of attitude, that adverse or that jealous attitude. So we should be ashamed of ourselves instead of feeling remorse and shame about the evils that you committed because of the jealousy. Why do you wish to compete with others who have committed meritorious deeds? The other person whom you see as an enemy is receiving all these good things because the person has created the cause in the past. The person has engaged in meritorious deeds, and now he or she is reaping the fruits or the results. So why do you compete with other persons who have committed meritorious deeds? If you want to commit, if you want to compete, then compete in cultivating merits. That's what Shantideva is saying there. First of all, instead of jealous attitude towards other person's success, we should rejoice. And then, since we also want to receive such things, we should engage in creating the causes, which is cultivating the merits. So that kind of concludes one heading. So now we are diving into another category or another subheading. So there are different versions. So the easier one, simplified version is this. Tawe mendube gek chebala soba gombas. So we want our enemies to experience suffering and pain and all that undesirable things. So when somebody enables that or thoughts that, we get angry. So here this is about tolerating such when such happens. And then the second main heading is Tadan Tagi Shelan Dube Gig Chevala Sobakomas. So the other one is we and our circle of people, our loved ones, people who are close to us, when somebody obstructs ourselves, the wishes of ourselves and our close friends, we get angry. So this is ways to practice patience when such happens. So this is the first one. Kedi tala nyoba chungnan gashing stay gek chabala toshenas. So this is a general attitude, what you call the common tendency, that when harm befalls on our enemies, we are happy. We kind of rejoice when harms befalls our enemies. And then somebody prevents that harm to our enemies, we get angry. So this is about Kede tashik meganam tela kyo garachishik yu. Even if your enemy is made unhappy, so this is about ill intention, wishing others harm. Even if your enemy is made unhappy, what is there for you to be joyful about? If something bad happens to your enemy, how does that directly benefits you? there will be no change to you whatsoever. So that's why Shantideva was saying that we normally wish harm. I hope you can hear me clearly, because I am receiving comments that it's a bit soft. So my microphone, I think the volume is maximum. So I don't know why you could not hear. Okay, let me try. That's all I can do. Even if your enemy is made unhappy, I hope it's loud enough. What is there for you to be joyful about? So even harm, we wish harm for others, and if that happens, it says that what is the direct correlation? What is the direct impact on you? So if the person experiences something undesirable, but that doesn't change our situation, we will remain the same. Your merely wishing for him to be hurt did not cause him to be injured. Even if we wish so much harm to another person, he said that does not happen. That will not happen, because harm and all this is dependent on causes and condition. If the person has created the karma to experience such harm, such undesirable experiences, then the person will experience whether you wish or not. If the person has no karma created to experience such undesirable experiences, then no matter how hard and how diligent you wish harm for them, that is not going to happen. So in that sense, it's like waste of our energy. Remember, you see on the other side, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So that's exactly what happens when we hold grudge and always wishing the other person harm, wishing other persons have suffering and pain. So if there is no karma for the other person, the person will not experience. On the other hand, we will suffer. So it's like drinking poison and then expecting the other person to die. If you drink poison, you will die, not the other person. So that's the point here. Let's see. Looks like some people can hear me clearly, but others have difficulty. So I don't know whether it's the device that you are using. Kyoge döbe tunyede chumnang kyo gara chishig yos. So remember the earlier it said that even if you wish for, that may not happen. So now here it says, even if he does suffer as you had wished, what is there for you to be joyful about? What is there for us to be joyful, even if that happens? Because when this happens, then we have completed perfect karma of ill intention. So unlike the karma, negative karma of body and speech, the mental aspects of negative karma, it doesn't require all that three. So just having that thought of wishing harm to other is enough to commit, to complete that negative karma of ill intention, intention to harm others. So he said that there's nothing to be joyful about, because now you have created another negative karma. And then sooner or later, we have to experience the result unless we engage in purification practice. So he says, when even our wishes are fulfilled in terms of other person receiving the harm, experiencing the harm, there is nothing to be joyful about, nothing to feel happy about. Then we say that, oh yeah, it's just that, it's just that it satisfies me. It just fulfills, just knowing that, my wish is fulfilled. It is so satisfying. That gives me this satisfaction. If we say that, then it says, if you say so, if you say, for I shall be satisfied, tele pungban shenchi yu, nyomo nyabe tabayi, chilba dene mese se, te sung semnye, pumbara yang, nyewe sungme ta tse nyes. If you say, for I shall be satisfied, how could there be anything more wretched than that? This hook cast by the fishermen of disturbing conceptions is unbearably sharp. Having been caught on it, it is certain that I shall be cooked in cauldrons of the gardens of hell. So you say, if you just do for the sake of feeling good or for the sake of this satisfaction, first of all, we don't know whether there is this such satisfaction. Research has shown that those who have wanted so much, the revenge, when people seek revenge and when they are finally able to really avenge the person, and many say that they don't feel any any kind of this strong sense of satisfaction, especially in the crime, when somebody committed a crime and killed your family members. So they seek justice, and finally you wanted the person to be, let's say, executed. And when this happens, many people, the research shows that they don't feel much difference. So even if we say that, oh, it makes me happy, it gives me the satisfaction that I seek. So that it says, how could there be anything more rash than that? Because when you have this satisfaction at the end, that makes the karma, negative karma of ill intention, really perfect. Remember, in order for our karma to be perfect, the three things need to come together. First, the intention, then the actual action, and finally that satisfaction. So many times our karmas are not that what you call perfect, in a sense that, let's say, when we kill ants when we walk on the road, the first part, that intention, is missing. So we don't intend to kill insects or ants that comes under our feet. Nobody goes for a walk thinking that, okay, I'm going to kill some ants. Nobody does that. So there is this missing part. Because of that, the karma is lighter. And then sometimes the end which completes the karma, perfect karma, that satisfaction, that acknowledgement that, okay, I'm able to do it. So that part is missing. But in this case, first of all, your intention is there. You really wanted harm for the other person. And then when that happens, you feel, you rejoice in that. When you experience the satisfaction, that makes that karma perfect. And then that makes the karma very strong. Of course, we will experience maximum consequences for such karma. So ill intention is really, really serious. So there are three types. Normally they say there are three types of ill intention. So the first one is due to anger, especially when you are, for example, when you are fighting, when you are in war or battle, or when you're fighting with somebody else. So you have this anger plus that intention to hurt the other person. And then there is the ill intention out of jealousy. Let's say at your workplace, you wanted to be ahead of your colleagues. And when you see that another person is being ahead of us, we may do all kinds of things, all kinds of harms. So that is out of jealousy. And then we have this ill intention out of grudge. You have some encounters before, so now you are holding that grudge, and then always waiting for your chance, always wanting to harm the other persons. So there are these three kinds of ill intention. So here it is about this. Ill intention is part of anger. When you have anger, so that is what you call the tag-alongs. So it is very dangerous. So on the Shantideva, on the one hand, of course, the main topic is about anger, but also at the same time tackling ill intention, jealousy, because these walk together. So how could there be anything more wretched than that? So the analogy here is this hook cast by the fishermen of disturbing conceptions. So when people go fishing, so that fishing hook, you have this hook. On the hook, you have those insects or whatever it is put there. A sharp hook with the, I don't know, the whatever it is to lure the fish. So when you cast that hook, because it is very sharp, it will be able to catch many fish. And then that fish, once you have caught, then here says that you will cook and turn into a nice dish. So that's the potential of that hook, a sharp hook. So it's similarly, our anger is like the hook. So if you let yourself under the control of this hook, which is the anger, then what will happen is we will be committing so many negative actions, and as a result, the way the fish is cooked and prepared into a dish, we will experience similar undesirable experiences in the hell realm, because the maximum, the result, the highest result is it, maximum result, consequences of ill intention is hell realm. So main point here is that we have to be very, very careful. Afflictive emotions in general, and particularly anger. So we have discussed this in the earlier parts, where how destructive anger is. That's why anger is like the king of the afflictive emotions, or the king of the delusions. Because the harm, the potential of harm that anger can cause cannot be rivaled by any other afflictive emotions. Other afflictive emotions, it has its own consequences. You will experience the corresponding experiences. That's all they can do. But when it comes to anger, not only we have to experience the the corresponding consequences, it also destroys. Remember, it also destroys our merits. Other afflictive emotion do not have that potential to destroy our merits, the merits that we have already accumulated, whereas anger, it has. And also the afflictive emotions. Remember in other chapter, conscientious, I think it's the chapter there, it says that if every sentient being stands against you as your enemy in the form of asuras. Asuras are known for their battle, for their fight. So if all sentient beings were to become your enemy, it can be unimaginable what kind of destructions, what kind of defeat it can cause us. But it says that our afflicted emotions, they cannot, that the damage they can cause, the destruction they can cause, is just a fraction of what the earlier example, the analogy is. And also in this very chapter, Shantideva says that afflicted emotions has no other job than to destroy our peace of minds. Our ordinary enemy, the enemy in the form of human beings, they cannot focus 24 hours on harming us. They have other things to do. They have to go to job, they have to eat, they have to sleep. But whereas the enemy that is residing within us, such as anger, jealousy, and all this, they are full-time workers, full-time working to destroy our peace of minds, to bring us down. But we don't realize that. We treat them as if they are our, the besties, best friends. And we just submit ourselves to these afflictions, and we just follow their command. As a result, we suffer. So this is where we combine everything in the 8 verses mind training. Remember, it says that Kangdo Sudan Tobe Tse. What is the word? What is this one now? Basically, wherever you go, whoever you meet, you check whether afflictions are arising or not. Whenever you find that the afflictions are arising, then at that very moment, you destroy them. You overpower them. Don't let them give any chance to govern us because of the damages it can cause. Now, so now we are on a different topic. This is the second part. So there are many, what does it say? So this is the second subheading where we get angry when wishes or good things that are happening to us and our close friends are thwarted. So how to tolerate, how to practice patience when such happens. So it is divided into different subheadings, but the first one is this. So first is when someone becomes an obstacle when we are receiving praise from other person. So when the praise from other is thwarted or prevented, we get angry. So how to practice patience when such happens? So first, Shandita was showing that the uselessness, pointlessness of praise. For us ordinary people, fame and praise is so important. So the earlier part and all this, actually, it shows us that despite our wanting to happy, but we are completely ignorant. Remember, Shandi, there was famous line, Tunyen dordo semyo ja tunyen nila mombarju, tewan dojan timube, rangi tewan tadar joms. I like this stanza very much because I think that really captures our, our situation. Everybody Everybody wants to get rid of suffering. There's nobody who runs towards suffering. Everybody wants to get rid of suffering. Nobody wants to experience even the tiniest bit of suffering. It says we run towards, despite our wish to get rid of suffering, we run towards suffering. Although we wish happiness, but it says we destroy our happiness as if it were the worst enemy of ours. So the point, or the point lies in that ignorantly destroys. So we are so ignorant about the causes. Some of us are aware of the causes and conditions. We know about karma. We study about karma. We know that in order to experience happiness, we need to cultivate positive karma. In order to get rid, in order to avoid suffering, we have to stop committing negative karma. But that kind of stays as intellectual. We don't have this conviction. As a result, we are still like this. We are all we are doing is engaging in the negative actions, which will eventually result in experiencing pain and suffering. On the other hand, though we seek happiness, we are not doing anything about it. We are not creating the causes and conditions that give rise to happiness. So all this fame, we think that fame and praise, fame, status is the one that that guarantees happiness. Wealth is another thing. Power is another one. We chase after all this because we are ignorant. We think that these are the factors that give rise to happiness. So because of that, some people emphasize or put so much energy in what you call in the pursuit of fame. They do all kinds of things to receive praise. So here Shantideva was showing the praise. There's nothing. There's no essence in the praise. Tōdāng tākbē rimdōni sunam mingyur, cher mingyur, tādōb mingyur, neme min, lūde wāyāng mingyur tāni rāndun shēgyur na tēla rāndun chishigyu. Yeah. The honor of praise and fame will not turn into merit or life. So these praises, when other people say nice things in front of us, or list, or what do you call, or recite the good qualities of others behind us, whatever it is, it says it will not turn into merit. The one thing that can really guarantee us happiness is merit. But it says that those nice words will not result in us gaining merits, nor does it lengthen our lifespan. It may be the opposite. When you become so famous, there are so many things to handle. All the time you are conscious of that, maintaining that status, being in the limelight all the time. And that's extra tension, extra stress. And when you experience stress, of course, it affects your lifespan. So here Shantideva was saying that it will not result in lengthening or making our life longer. It will not improve our lifespan. It will give me neither strength, receiving some fame or what you call praise. It says it will neither give strength nor freedom from sickness. Because you are a famous person, because somebody is praising you, it does not mean that it will prevent you from sickness. So basically, it does not help in the merit, which is the next life thing. It will not help in this life, nor in next life. So for next life, it does not guarantee any merits. In this life, the things that we need good health. We need to be, vital, is it? We need strength. We need to be free from sickness, good health. And we need to live long. It's a physical happiness, physical, and will not provide any physical happiness. Physical happiness is health, good health. So it's kind of so another is free from sickness. So it will not guarantee any of this. So why are we so bogged down? Why are we so focused on receiving a praise? Why does it matter when it does not affect, it does not help us in this life nor in the next life? Tani randun she gyurna, tela randun chishigyu. If I were aware of what held meaning for me, what value would I find in these things? So if we are wise enough to really examine or investigate, how beneficial is this, how meaningful these are, then you say we should realize that it does not serve any purpose. It does not have real meaning. So if you are, ignorant, if you are stupid, then of course, cannot help. But if you are wise enough, it says, you will realize that praise is just a dry word. What value would I find in this? You will find no value in this. But then you argue, you can argue back that, oh yeah, I know, it's a dry word, but it gives me this mental happiness. I get this good feeling, feel good, it makes me feel good. So I hear from people that they are doing all these virtuous deeds. I help people there, I work at this thing, and the reason is that, it gives me, what is the term? It makes me feel good. So if you say that it just makes me feel good, then it says, Yidi Bashi Dönani Kenso Changyang Ten Kwesos. If all I want is a little mental happiness, I should devote myself to gambling, drinking, and so forth. So if it's just for this tiny or short-lived mental happiness, then it says that you should engage in other things like gambling. When you gamble, the moment you are in that mood, it gives you that mental happiness, that joy. And even drinking, when people have pain and suffering, they just go to a pub or they just drink to forget that, and instead it fills up, I don't know, whatever that does. And there are so many other things that can, that can give you mental happiness. If your main goal, main purpose, main reason is just for that gain, that receiving that mental happiness, yidi bashis, dönanis, then you should engage in all these kind of activities. Why not engage in other things? Because these, you have the freedom. The praise, you don't have the freedom. You are completely at the mercy of others. But whereas all this you can do, so why not? Shantideva is cautioning. Okay, so we no break. Chakpe tuandu nor tongshin tanyi kyangni sui chena tsikdu namji chishikcha shina tegu sula tes. So this praise, so this shows that praise has no meaning. It's if you engage, if you not engage, if you are so attached to praise, then Shantideva was saying that this is like a child's behavior. Chakpe tuandu nor tongshi tanyi kyangni sui chena tsikdu namji chishikcha shina tegu sula tes. If for the sake of fame I give away my wealth or get myself killed, what can the mere words of fame do then? Once I have died, to whom will they give pleasure? So Shantideva is reiterating the essenceless, the meaningless of praise, craving for praise. He said that some people, just for the sake of fame, they give away their wealth. Some people engage in the act of generosity because they wanted people to say that, wow, how generous this person is. You know how generous he is? He has given all his income. He has given his house. He has given his car. So many people do that. So that's why it says that even in Dharma, even doing virtue, if you are not careful about your intention, then it kind of stains that particular virtuous action. So whenever we give, this shouldn't be the, receiving fame shouldn't be the factor. Receiving praise shouldn't be the motivating factor. We give because we wanted to help the person. That should be the motivation. Likewise, he says, or get myself killed. People die because they seek fame of, I don't know what you call it, bravery, how brave he is, and their picture. Some of this fight can be prevented if there is no ego. When your ego comes in, I will look, what you call, I don't know what is the term. So you want to look macho and strong. And sometimes just to impress your girlfriend, the guys just fight. And I just came across these bullfights. I was like, why do they do that? It is so dangerous. The bull's horn can pierce through your stomach. I'm sure there's a lot of deaths in bullfights. But people do that. Partly for money, partly for fame. People climb Mount Everest. For what? Maybe there are some people out of passion. But some people, they want to be the one who climbed Mount Everest. The one who climbed the highest mountain. So we chase after these praise, and then it risks our life. And people die from attempting to climb the highest mountain. Or jumping, I don't know, free fall or whatever you call that. So this is there. There's no meaning. Instead, you lose your wealth. You get yourself killed just for the mere word of how generous he is or how brave he is. So what can the mere word do then? If you die, if you lose everything, what does that do to you? That does not help you. Once I have died, especially when you died, how does that help you? You may be born as a cockroach. And how does that fame help us? Cheme kangbu dibgyur na chiba namni kache du. Tishin tuyodan tanyam na rangi semni chiba shins. So this is to show that our response or our behavior is really like a child's behavior. When the child, they build the sand castle. So when it gets destroyed, the child gets sad or angry. So this is similar to the when their sand castle collapses, children howl in despair. Likewise, when my praise and reputation decline, my mind becomes like a little child. So basically saying that you are like, if you are so attached to your fame and praise, then you are like a child. You are behaving like a child. Because fame and praise, impermanent. One moment you can be very popular, you can be very famous. Remember, that's why we say, oh, one time that person was very popular. That means that you are no longer. So if you are so attached to that fame, then the rest of your life will be miserable because you don't have that. And that's why maybe there are so many, suicides amongst celebrities. There are so many substance abusers amongst the celebrities because maybe they find it very difficult to cope with that. So basically, Shantideva was saying that there's nothing to be attached to, nothing to crave for these mere words. Tibetan we said it, Tsikambu, that means dry words, no meaning, just dry. "94. Rishi thala se mechir, thala tosim yu misi, thala shenga she taba, teni gawe gyuyin tang." So now let's say saying that, Shandila was saying that, let's just analyze. Let's examine closely this praise. Since short-lived sounds are inanimate, so I italicize that short-lived. I don't know whether that's the correct translation. So Rishik here is like, let's pause and analyze the situation. So short-lived may not be the correct translation. So anyway, since sounds are inanimate, they cannot possibly think of praising me. So we say that, oh, because I'm being praised, so that's why I'm so happy. So it's okay. Not so quick in making this conclusion. Let's examine closely. Let's analyze the situation. So when you do that, so the word itself, the phrase itself is a sound. It says that it's inanimate. So they will not have the intention to really praise you because it's inanimate. It cannot possibly have the intention to praise us. Thala shenga shetaba teningawe juyin tongues. But as it makes the bestower of praise happy, my reputation is a source of pleasure for me. So because the bestower, whoever is praising me, it makes them happy. So even though the word doesn't have the intention to praise me, whoever is praising me, it makes him happy, makes him or her happy. So he said, okay, my reputation, so my reputation becomes, my praise become the source of pleasure. Shen nam yana talang rooms. Let's see. Looks like we have to stop here. It's already 11:14. So we stop here. Normally the online one, there's no break. So I normally do only 1¼ hour, because if it is too long, then yeah, it's too tiring for the listeners. So when you have in-person class, then we can have a break, and then we come back, we are refreshed, we are ready to concentrate. Otherwise, our concentration span may not endure that long period. So I normally stop after 1¼ hours. So let's stop here, and then the next class will be at our old place in person. So today, for special circumstances, so I just decided to do online only. Let's do the dedication. Dagi jini sawe gyawa de tendan jowa kunla kangben dan kyabara chizun losan chakpa yi tenbe nyingbu ringdu seje sho. Jambe bawe jedara gyamba dan kundu zambu deyan deshen do deda kungi jesu talubch gyawa deda damje rabdu ngo duzun shekbe gyawa tamje je ngowa kanla shodo ngawa dagi gewe zawan degun jan zambu chuji rabdu ngo warar gis. Okay, thank you.